What's going on, good people? Hey, Doc, what's happening?
Hey, how are you?
Man,
Long
I,
time
I'm
no
glad.
see.
I know. I'm glad. I'm glad. So let's go on and face that. I know, I got a couple of pings, a couple of calls, a couple of messages that was like, what's going on? Someone just simply sent me a replay again. That's all they did. I was like, listen, we life
It's
be
okay.
lifing and we get yeah, it's
We get to
good.
take breaks. We
Um,
get to
yeah,
rest. Rest is,
yeah,
is
stuff be
just as
happening. Stuff be
important as the
happening.
work. Yeah, we can rest.
Of course, of course. And here's the deal: we don't get as much rest as people think. It's like rest to go do some other stuff that's demanding some attention. I ain't gonna let Doc
Okay.
just make y'all have her think she just sit around chilling. You know what I mean? It'd be other stuff going on. But man, very excited, happy to be back in the building live is what I'm saying. Um, because we typically out trying to save the world. So if you don't see us, we out doing some type of superhero type activity. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that you ain't got to agree. I ain't asked for agreement. I'm just telling you what it is. But anyway, glad to be here. Happy, happy, happy is what we're gonna say. It's a beautiful Thursday. And as we do all the way, always at the beginning of our show, we want to welcome you to Perspective. And the premise of our platform and what we do in our show is right there in the name. It's about different perspectives, different outlooks, different opinions, different lived experiences. And we just come and discuss those openly about any topic. And the most important thing about that is that when we talk about our different positions and points of views on things, it allows us to come together because the thing is, someone's point of view or opinion if it differs from yours, that's the key word. It doesn't mean that they're right and you're wrong, or they're wrong and you're right, or they're right or you're wrong. It just simply means that they're different. And when we can discuss our differences, it actually brings us close together, which leads into a more cohesive and I think more effective community. And that is what we aim to achieve here on Perspective. So we got some topics. We got a topic, and I'm gonna say this at the top of the hour and then and at the end of the hour. Hey, we really love and appreciate your interaction with us. So if you can send us questions, topics, things you would like to discuss or review, questions about something you may have heard on here, definitely do so. We do ask that you share, that you like. If you're enjoying the show, man, hit the like button. I mean, it's the easiest thing you can do, and it's very very helpful to do so. Don't hesitate to share if you think it could benefit someone within your world or in your network. Hey, just share it, just send it out, and just say thought is just put interesting on there as a topic, and it'll float real good. I promise you, it won't put you in a pigeonhole and get you all questioned or whatnot. So we really appreciate that, and definitely go to the BS3 network. It's on all social media platforms. Check it out. You'll see other shows, other content on there, and you'll enjoy that as well. So I wanted to just make sure I said that at the top of the hour, and I'll kind of hint at that throughout the show. Going to do a little bit more of that. Doc, Doc gonna get mad if I don't do this. I'm Eric Butler, aka the Intellect, aka Cullinan Eight, because I'm the biggest diamond ever found on land, and ain't nothing nobody can do about it. AKA the Atlantic, because I'm cold, deep, and choppy. So, with that being said, I'm a father, grandfather. I always like to give Carter a little shout out on that. And I've been in the talent acquisition. That's recruiting industry for over 18 years. So it's allowed me an opportunity to help a lot of people kind of move into some consulting, really learn about human beings in that space specifically, and has led me to the opportunity to kind of work in the community through a nonprofit called the Empower Series. It's a financial literacy program. So also, if you're out there in the internet world, just check that out. Go to www.empowerseries.com and check that out. I think it's imperative and important that if you don't know what you don't know, so go see what you don't know. Definitely our YouTube page will give you a lot of good information on that as well. Other than that, man, I just really like to bring people together. I want to solve problems. Don't like to see people hurt, and if there's anything I can do to contribute to that, I do. And with that being said, I'm going to hand the mic over really to the QB1, the star of the show. I mean, the light into the sun, my co-host, and I call her Doc. Latoya, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are live. If you missed us, let us know. We'll try not to be gone
Yeah,
so long. So my name's
absolutely.
Latoya. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I am Chef Jeff's wife. I'm them kids' mama. Let's see. What about me? I have a private practice. I have a book that is on Amazon. It's called The Wife's Guide to Beating the Side Chick. I have an amazing website that's probably about to get an update, latoyathetherapist.com. And I also have a solo podcast. It's audio only. It's called Say More About That. It's on all the platforms, Google, Apple, Podbean, because my mama didn't want to give Spotify her email address. So that is true story. That's me. I'm super excited about tonight though. Like I have thoughts on intuition. But before we get
Yeah.
there, let's get the comments.
All
We'll do
right.
that.
All right. That's being Sutter the third. He says you can support BS3 Network by sending stars. Stars help us earn money to continue building the network. And thank you. And if you don't, you recognize that being Sutter the third puts the BS3 into the BS3 network. Salute to him. Mr. Jay Gilliard, he said, "What up, folks? Y'all
What
heard
up?
about
What up?
she's Chef Jeff's wife. See that J in front of that Gilliard? Yeah, y'all put it together. Use your context clues. And that's my BFF. And I'm gonna take a moment and say I went to the Holy Box, spelled with a W and a H, OLLY. Man, I had a salmon Philly.
It
Y'all
was
play with it.
so
I'm just gonna.
good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I had one too. It was
I'm
so
just. I
good.
was like. I was like, you did that, bro. You did that. You think you're just going to support, but when I like, no, I'll be back and I'll be upset if it's not there. So that's all I'm saying. I ain't never ran across nothing bad
He's gonna
over in
be
that cabinet.
there Saturday. He'll be back out on Saturday.
Okay. At the same
Um,
spot,
Same spot. So it's Green Oaks and 360. He'll be at
Green
the
Oaks
same
and 360
corner
in
at the
South
Holy
Arlington.
Box.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Holy Box. Hey man. Hey, what Doc used to say some don't meet me there, beat me there.
Beat me
I'ma
there.
tell you. Yeah, I went and got myself
11 to
that
6.
Philly. Got yeah, 11 to 6. That's what's up. Got my grandmother catfish plate. She enjoyed that. She enjoyed it. Alexis Butler's in the building. She said, "Hey everyone.
Hey.
Hey, that's my baby bird. I'm gonna tell you, man, that's one of my favorite people in the world. That's my partner right
Oh,
there, man.
that's so sweet.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. They chatting. They chatting. Good
All right,
evening,
Ben.
sir.
Good evening, Ben. He said, let me check in on him.
Okay.
Overton
Because we here.
Claiborne said, good evening. Good evening to you. Thank you for
Good
being here,
evening.
Overton.
Good evening.
Yeah, yeah, definitely
Yeah,
don't
they
don't
chat.
hesitate to comment and share your thoughts on this. Don't definitely
Okay.
don't hesitate to do that. All right, Doc.
Disclaimer. Disclaimer. I am a therapist, not your therapist, unless we have paperwork and a payment form in place. Eric and I will
Mm,
be speaking from our life experience, our education, things we've heard. We are not necessarily talking about our current situation unless we say currently this is what I am experiencing. We are not on here telling you all of our personal business, and nobody called us beforehand to tell us your business. So if it hit close to home, our bad.
yeah. So hey, sometimes yeah. Hey, hit dogs holler, but I'm just saying, don't scream. That's
Okay.
all I'm gonna
And so here's the thing. We all know that your sister's cousin homegirl was in the same situation and it worked out well for her, but we're not talking about her. We love her and we're happy for her. We are talking about things from a general perspective. We got some more
Mm-hmm.
comments. Oh,
All
this is
right.
a great
Overton
network.
says,
I totally agree.
yes, it is. Yes, it is, Overton. Indeed.
100.
One of those hidden
Uh-oh.
gems, they call it. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Alexis Butler says, do you know my father came home empty-handed? No salmon Philly for me. Well, to see the
Mm-mm.
thing would have no, I'm not finna do that on here. We'll talk later and we'll
What
make it
had
up. We'll
happened?
okay, I'll tell you. I actually I was already with my grandmother at where she's at, and then left and went to the holy box and then went back, and it wasn't on the way. and um, we had my cousin was there too. I gave them a little corner of the thing, and of course, I was gonna devour the rest. It just happened like that. But you know what? Shame on me. Won't happen again.
He'll be there Saturday. Go get you a
There
plate,
you go.
girl.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, now I got some making up to do.
All right, let's get into it. So, is
Let's get
it
into it,
men
Doc.
versus women, or is it like logic versus intuition? And so, where we
Mm.
came up with this is like all the time people are like, men think like this and women think like this, and duh. And is that what it is, or no?
Um. Now, well, here's what my thought is. The general concept is that men are more logical, and then women are emotional. That's how it's stated, which would kind of tie into intuition. But I think they're different. I want Doc will clarify some of that. And so I do believe men are generally wired from a logical standpoint because we absolutely see things differently than women. Just from my lived experience, I would say that there is some truth to that. Um, and I don't want to spoil it. Do I believe both of us have access to those nuances? Like women can be logical, and men can be intuitive too. I absolutely believe so. And though as human beings are not monoliths in any form and fashion, there's so many variances. I
Right,
believe there's some men who are more intuitive than some women, and some women who are
right.
more logical than some men. So I think you have to take it at each individual circumstance and then kind of make those assessments.
I love that. But before we get too deep in it, I like for
Yeah,
everybody to be on the same page. So I looked up the definition of
do it,
logical,
Doc.
and it says of or according to the rules of logic or a formal agreement, categorized by or capable of clear, sound reasoning. So
Clear
that is the definition of
sound
logic.
reasoning. Okay.
Right. And then for the definition of intuition, it says the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. So if we're looking at, I know, right? So if we're looking at the two words, it's like they're on opposite ends of the spectrum because one of them requires reasoning and the other one is like, nah, we just know we don't need no reason.
Right.
They're like complete opposites.
Well, this is what I would say. Listen, one of my favorite books says there is a time for everything under the sun. And
Mhm.
so I think there are circumstances and times where you need to take a logical approach, despite you may have an immediate thought or feeling about something. Let me
Mhm.
take a step back and take a more logical approach to it. And then there are moments where the circumstances and the situation require you to use your intuition, and you have to make a decision based off of gut, so to speak.
So let me ask you this: who determines what's logical? Like who says what's logical?
Immediately came to my mind was the person in the situation. But if we're thinking from a now let's keep it real. If we're talking about you or leading other people, you have other influences around you, or whatever you decide is going to impact other individuals. I would say that collective gets to do that, and then that's where we get into this man versus woman
I just
situation.
I just always wonder like
Who
who
is
said this is
That's like
logical
who?
and this is like
Less
who did
exactly.
that?
It's like saying who is they? Because people say, well, they said who is they?
Who
I
is
said,
that?
can you name them? Can I speak with them individually? That's why I'm telling you, I've done this in real life. I'm like, who is they? And do you have their contact information? That's what I
No, for
asked.
real. Because then people be like, no, they said it.
Yeah,
What? Who is
who
they?
is they? Yes, it's a great question. Overton Claiborne says, I stand on logic. I feel you on that, Overton. Mr. Brian D. Williams, H rap right
Hello,
there,
sir.
man. He says, good evening. Y'all about to get some juice if he stay in. If he, that's a busy man. He got a lot of things shaking. That dude, no, I'm saying he chock full of wisdom, man. That dude always brings some thought provoking commentary.
Yeah, I
Um,
watched him on
that
I watched his show with Dog, the one that Jeff was on when they did the review of Tyler Perry's movie.
The forecast. It's on
Yep.
Mondays. I think
I
at
was feeling
7.
it. Yeah, I was feeling him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I
No,
had
man.
ever
Yeah.
I don't think I had ever
I,
seen him, but yeah, he was
yeah. I was
cool.
like, H rep. I say, man, where you come up with this, man? What field of flowers you've been walking to that
Mm.
opens up those windows and doors of your mind? Because he will bring a perspective and he'll come with I was like, man, ain't no way I thought about that. I also don't know what mirrored room he been walking in, but he saw a whole different reflection, man.
Nah, I really enjoyed his commentary.
Yeah, yeah. And I think they would enjoy the forecast on Mondays at 7 anyway. It's entertaining in that way. Yeah. But Doc,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, go ahead. I ain't gonna interrupt
No,
you.
you
Hit your
got it. Go
flow.
ahead.
No, I was gonna ask you. So would you say on my, I gave this kind of, just my perspective on, you know, women are emotional, men are logical, but I do believe that it's gray in its sense. But would you say that there is a propensity for men to be more logical and women to be more intuitive? And then what are the key aspects that generate those two things? I'm asking you like you're a
Yes.
scientist of brain, but I know you work with brains, so that's
I'm gonna
why
come. I'm gonna just. I had to
yeah, come on
formulate
with
that.
it. Yeah, come on.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
yes,
know.
I think the propensity is for men to be more logical because that's the type of society that we live in. We live in a society where
Mm,
men are supposed to be the head, they're supposed to figure it out, they're supposed to have
mm,
everything under control. You can't necessarily be emotional and have things under control because them emotions can lead you astray. You be to cuss somebody out because you was emotional and you really need their
mm,
help. So I do think
mm.
that based on our societal norms, men have the propensity to be more logical. I think that women, under the right circumstances, are given enough space to where they can just lean into their intuition because their man has worked it out for them. Now,
Wow.
this is where things get dicey. As we are having our own human experience and we are going through things and life is lifing on us, trauma can happen. And trauma
Mm,
impacts every part of your brain. It impacts how you view the world, how you attach to people, what food you like, how you respond to different smells. Like trauma impacts every single part of your brain, right? I cannot say that enough. So if you are coming from a place of trauma, sometimes what you think is intuition is anxiety.
talk
And when
about it,
you
Doc.
go with that anxiety, you can mess up. And I don't think people
Exactly.
give enough space for that
Yeah.
because, and I tell people all the time, like, if you're not in tune with yourself, anxiety and intuition are like twins. It's that same, you know how people be like, oh, I just knew I got a feeling in my stomach. Well, a symptom of anxiety is that feeling in your stomach. So if you've been through a
Mm,
trauma, if you've experienced something, how do you know the difference between this feeling in my stomach that's my intuition, my sense of knowing, versus this feeling in my stomach is anxiety, it's excessive worry and stress. So I think that's how women get in trouble. And men too, not just women. But I think that's how people get in
right.
trouble is when you're not checking yourself, you're not super in tune with yourself, and you just going, oh, my stomach did something funny, that's my intuition. It could totally be your anxiety.
Okay. Let me and I'm gonna repeat this back to make sure I get a good understanding, but I'm gonna do it in what I call layman's terms because I'm just a regular soul out here. You say anxiety, and we might need to define that too. But are we saying when you say trauma, people have had an experience, something that
Mhm.
hurt them, or put them in a negative situation. They lost on it
Right,
in some way. So when you
right.
come across situations or circumstances that are similar to that, you're saying, "Oh, this is my gut telling me this is what I should do," but it's really you're just scared because you've already been hurt in that circumstance. And then to add to that's the question: is that what we're saying? But to add to that as a question isn't that doesn't the body and the brain naturally like survival is a human, I think it's an innate
Right.
non-programmed
Mhm.
operating system programmed in human beings to make this whatever they feel like is the safest
Right.
decision for survival, which is
Right.
not always good. There is a level of calculated risk we should always be taking in life if we are to achieve things and gain things. However, the body, I think, naturally wants to take the safe route. So according to what you just said, if I've been through some trauma and now I'm afraid of that thing, because it's like touching a hot stove. I don't even want to. Some people get to the point where you know what, look like a stove over there. We're not even gonna go over there, and it may not
Right.
even be what that is. Does that make am I catching you right?
Yeah, and I'm not saying always. Like everybody who experiences trauma does not necessarily
Yeah.
experience anxiety. I'm not saying always because that's not what I'm saying. But I am saying when you experience trauma, that can impact your intuition, and you may not know the difference.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
And I think it's
That's where
important.
therapists come into play. Yeah, you got
Yeah, I think it's
it.
important to make sure that like you know the difference, right? So like using your stove example, you touch the hot stove, your hand get burned, oh my gosh, ouch, it hurts. And now you won't even look at a stove because your intuition said it's gonna do. No, that's not your intuition. That's your anxiety because you're afraid. The stove may not even be on today. Does that make
Mm.
sense?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you gonna have to cook. Now you don't even want to cook. You can't
Now
feed
you
yourself.
Uber
I mean, I'm taking it
eating.
to the extreme. Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Now your finances are jacked up. You got to come. The Power Series got to come save you. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm just playing with y'all. Brian D. Williams says, "Do you think that it's a result of the imbalance in American households? With the divorce rate above 50% and households being divided, could that contribute to men being out of touch with their intuition and women being less logical?"
I actually wonder if it's the other way around for women. Because if the household is divided and the woman is now the head of
Mhm.
the household, doesn't that put her in a position to be more logical? Because if we go on with just a
Well,
basic definition of what logical is, if I am now responsible for everything, like if nothing moves until I sign it, like this is it. I don't know that there's space for her to be intuitive anymore.
emotional and
Like it has
intuitive.
to make sense. Like it
And,
has to be like black and white.
and I'll jump out on the fence. I'll go ahead and take the mud slinging at this. I believe there's and I think the logic could be different, how they're making that. Because there's usually trauma involved in that case. And let's just keep it 100%. There's a lot of trauma throughout the community that I pay attention to and I'm a part of. And there's a lot of trauma involved, right? And so if you're a single parent, that's trauma in its damn self. You know what I mean? So with that being in place, I don't think there's going to be some I can't my memory, but it says clear, concise decisioning is something that was what on the definition of logic. I don't think that occurs. I think there's a constant flow of, and I would say, negative emotions going on, and so the intuition is going to be interrupted, and the logic is going to be interrupted. So what we're experiencing and seeing in regards to H-Rap's question, I mean, bro, I think it's a whole nother category. We'd have to dig, we could probably write a book and get some new definitions and new nuances in the world of psychology with this one, man, because it's some crazy stuff going on, man. People's mindset when it comes to that.
I think I
That's my
agree.
little spiel.
I think I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. So yeah, and yeah, so he was saying the imbalance in American households. I mean, imbalance is, yeah, because I think, one, single parent homes, two, in a lot of instances, and that's a whole nother conversation about women being the head of households, even when there is a man in the household, and the those roles have been flipped, and then we have to introduce the new types of families, where it's same sex families. That's a
Mm.
different nuance that you have to include that really impacts the society. And, I'm not saying negatively, it's just different. You know what I mean? So it's going to have different nuances. So that, and then there's children in those families, and that's going to create a different nuance and way of thinking, which is going to permeate throughout the entire community. So we have to take in account of all of those aspects and how they may contribute or impact the greater society in that way.
I get that.
or households, I would say.
Do you think
Mhm.
one is better than the other? Logic versus intuition?
No, that my real my no, I think they both have an important part and play in life, and I wouldn't pick one over the other. Do I think there is a time in what where I think the disconnect is? People don't take consideration of this is a moment to be more logical, or and being able to recognize when I really need to dig into my intuition in this one.
Mm.
But here's another aspect in my preparation for this. There was a question about how your intuition builds or impacts your logic. Because if you do so, like you have an experience, they call it schema. Let me say this to the world. I don't think a lot of people know this. Your frontal lobe don't even finish developing until about the age of 24, 25. And
Yes.
there's always outliers. So it could be 26, 27 for some. Some could develop earlier, like in their 22, 23. That's possible. That's why you have some kids be like, what the hell is wrong with them? And why does this one act like they've been here before? Now, I'm saying that for
Mhm.
my community. That's because when you have a more
Right.
mature, they act like they've been here before. You know what I mean? So understanding that the schema is you now make more logical decisions based off of past experiences because you're able to retain and use that information to make better decisions. If it hasn't been developed, and then you're going to continue for someone to just make decisions. I guess it'll be totally off the gut or off of their emotions, so to speak. So we have to think about that. It is think if if you become a parent early in life and you don't even have you don't have the ability um, to dig into your schema so you can make balanced decisions. As you can see, TBR is my thing. The B is for balance. If you can't make balanced decisions, then you're gonna be making it'll be interesting. It's almost like grab your popcorn and watch it type of decisions within these households. So you got to keep those
I
things in
don't
mind.
think intuition I don't think intuition is emotion. I think intuition is just a state of
Yeah.
knowing. I wouldn't consider intuition to be an emotion. Let me tell you something. So before we bought this house,
So
when we
you
walked,
believe it to be a state of
it's
knowing.
just a state of
Uh-huh.
knowing. You just know.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think it's an emotion.
Ah,
I don't
yeah.
think it's happy, sad, embarrassed, angry, jealous.
Okay.
It's just you having an understanding of something without an explanation. So let me give you an example. So when we moved into our house that you came to, I'm gonna say the name of the street is Cooper. So when we walked into the house, I just knew that this was my house. And I remember saying, we're gonna end up on
Wow.
Cooper. And Jeff was like,
Ah,
okay. Because our home buying experience was crazy to say the least. But I just knew. I ain't hear no voices. It wasn't like a big like, did no angel come tell me, did no devil come tell. I literally just knew.
Doc, we want to talk about it. The devil didn't visit you before. He came and talked to you before.
No, I'm just saying,
No, I'm
how
just
some people
playing.
be like, and I
I'm
heard
like,
his voice
I'm like, man,
clearly.
what's y'all's number? He's like, he didn't come to me. I'm like, what's y'all's number? You got access? No, I'm just playing. But go ahead.
No, for real. Like
No, I did that, and I
I
will
just
say
knew.
this. Y- Yeah, and I would say this. I have I've witnessed the impact and the evidence of a state of knowing. Would I say personally? Yeah, and I don't think I listened. So that would be my personal example. But I've witnessed someone have do exactly what you said they were going, what you experienced. You was like, I just knew, and they had spoke it, and it really and it unfolded in that manner. So I do believe so I do believe in intuition. And I love the fact that you kind of clarified and separated it from emotions. And then people didn't, if they wasn't paying attention, you did define emotions. If it's not embarrassing, it's not happy, sad, it's not those feelings of
Right.
things. It's just Say it again in your best way. You say it's just a state of knowing, a
Yeah.
state of knowing. So I like that,
Yeah.
which definitely differentiates it from what we would say was emotional. And I think that's important. If anybody has a takeaway from here, you're you feel having a feeling of something is not the thing. You
Mm-mm.
clarify me if I'm wrong. It's a you're in a situation and you just have a state of knowing. You just know something. So it's not even a feeling, it's a state of knowing. And I think that's different. That's good, Doc. I came way
Yeah,
better
because
today already. I don't know about y'all.
yeah, because it's like, so a feeling is like I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm angry, irate, I'm annoyed. That's not intuition. Intuition is I know this
Which
thing.
are which are
Those are
emotions, right?
emotions and
What
those
you
are
just
feelings. Right. Intuition is not that. It's just I just know something. I have an understanding or an awareness of something that I can't explain how I know.
that's you know what? Do you think that's a key part of it? I can't explain how I know, but I just know. Is that like a
Well,
greater
yeah, because
indication that that's mhm.
in the definition it said like a state of understanding without conscious reasoning. So it's not like I read it in a book. It's not like somebody
Without
told me, did
conscious
nobody whisper in
reasoning?
my ear. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, some of them they will say, "I'm just nah." It's something that your grandmama said, or your friends, or your echo chamber has been saying to you anyway. You come across it,
Right.
and you just like, no, it's the trauma mixed in with this is the salve, which I mean that advice. Or the things that have been spoken to you, I call it the salve. Somebody put the salve on your trauma, and then you call it your intuition. I just be knowing. No, you're just you playing it safe. You think you're avoiding something. Nah, you're trying to
Mm.
pass it off as that. It's not true intuition. I think true intuition. Let me ask you this: is it something when it comes to you and a person experiences it? Is it is it a particular feeling? Is it like, man, do you really are you like, man, I don't know how I know, but I just know? Will it have that feeling, or was it because I think most people say, I just think I feel it and I know, and they have a confidence about it, or does intuition be like, man, I don't know how I know, I just know?
I think that depends on the person. So
Okay.
I think some people, and I think that's just like a semantics thing, right? When people say, I just got a feeling, and then you say, well, what's the feeling? And then they can't give you a feeling word. That's the same as I don't know how I know, I just know. I think it's just the language that people use. And I think people
Okay.
get caught up on the semantics. That's all.
Okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. Cause I'm like, cause now, see, now that we discussing this, I'll be paying attention. I had an eye to the so you just feel it, huh? You feel it. I'll be like, you feel it? Yo, so you know how you okay. It's saying it
Mm.
ain't it. That's how I would be. I wouldn't tell them. I let them ride
Right,
it out.
right.
Now, if it's affecting me, I'd be like, no, let's probably let's take the now here's but I'm not gonna beat on that. But here's the next part, Doc. So the title of it is Men versus Women. Now, let's go with a premise that men tend to be more logical, and women tend to be more into uh, have more intuition. So, thinking that, and I made a comment earlier where I think I think both are very important,
Mhm.
and I don't think one outshadows the other. They're not better, like good or bad. It's different. They're
Mhm.
just different, and I think they both serve a purpose. And I think you're at your best. Would you? I know you agree. I can't say that. I'm just gonna say it. I think you should have if you have logic and you have intuition at play together, then you win in the game. That's best case
Absolutely.
scenario. Yes or no?
That's best case scenario. I don't
Mm,
know that that typically happens though. So the way I
it
see
doesn't.
it, it's like if two people are in a race and the two people it's logic and intuition. Typically, one person is always ahead of the other. I don't ever see it happening where they're both happening at the same time.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah, and
we ain't gonna be able to stay away from it. I mean,
and
because it digs into heads of households and following and submitting and so I mean, but let's have a conversation. I think so. If you had to leave, if you needed one to be okay, one is going to take the first crack at things. All right, it's either going to be the intuition, and we're not going to name. We're going to say intuition is going to lead, or logic is going to lead. Which one is leading? Which one you think
oh,
should
that's
lead?
so tricky because
Come
so for
on,
me,
come on, keep it. Come on now, Doc, keep it completely funky. Think up. Let's think up the room. Let's go.
I think it depends on the situation. If we're talking about my
Mm.
money, I want the logic to lead. But if we're talking about
Okay,
anything
okay.
else, I'm good with intuition leading. But for that, and which is probably bad because my intuition
It
could probably get me to the
is.
bigger bag. But
Yeah.
I need it to make sense. I need the spreadsheet to be balanced. I need the checks and I need all that in alignment.
Just when Doc, I thought we were there. We were there, and then Doc was like, "Boop, boop, boop, boop." She tiptoed all the way down to the other end of the hall. Tell about you good up there? No, I'm not. We was just
Because
skating together. We was
I
just
love
come on, Doc.
intuition. I love intuition. I feel like intuition is what makes me great at my job. Like I love it. I love how sometimes I really just be knowing. And I remember my mama thought I was crazy, and she was like, "You don't know nothing, you know." And then the next day, somebody called her and said exactly what I said, and she was like, "How did you know?" I don't know. I just know. So like I love
No, I
intuition.
listen.
It is a part of me, but the numbers,
No, I
I
agree
mean,
that this is what. So this is what I'm gonna say, and this probably might surprise people. I I have very in tune with my intuition. The force is strong with me. Like it's some Yoda type stuff going on. I have been able to um sit with people, individuals, and I would say, no, it's you now this is what you're doing, thinking, feeling, and blah blah blah. And they've literally said, I don't like that. I don't like that. That is not cool. You don't know me well enough, but you were like you hit the nail on the head. And
right.
I have no freaking and they say, how you know that? I don't know how I know. I just knew I'm gonna tell you what my answer would be, just to keep it completely honest. I'd be like, the most high told me. That's how I've explained intuition. I'd be like, it's revelation. The most high just gave me revelation on something, which is the way I see it, which is why I find it very attractive in
Mm-hmm.
people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about a certain gender of people, if you can catch
I caught
my
it.
drift. But I, but I do, but I think I really, I think it was for me, it was reversed. Like I had to grow into like really respecting and appreciating logic because it's necessary. And you're completely right. There is a place for both of them. That's why I kind of, cast it up like which one should be most ideally they need to work in unison. Do I think logic should lead the way? Most I would say yes, because most things can be studied, researched, learned about. You can put a plan of action in place for the goal because it's something that you really want to. If you're headed for a goal and you know you where you want to be, you can make a plan for that. And I think you need to include logic in doing that, or you're going to utilize logic. It's those things that are unknown and you don't have any schema on it, you don't have any information on it. And if the intuitive one says, I really, and they, I ain't gonna say you have to prove it, but it comes like, I don't know, but I think this is the best way we should go. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
have any other information. I don't have any other thing to lean on. I want to be able to lean on that intuition.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and utilize it, even if it's from me or if it's from a partner, a friend, or whoever's next to me. You know what I mean? And to
Dig
me, that
that.
would be, I don't think that's practiced. I don't think that's practiced. I think people take the logic hammer and you like try to knock every damn thing over and don't give enough
Mm,
credence to intuition because they don't
they
understand
don't.
it. They think it's just someone yeah, they think it's someone being emotional and they're not. And it's really a gift.
Gotta learn how to hone it though. That thing
Yeah,
crazy.
you so right. Cause folks didn't crash whole planes. And crashed whole planes on their intuition.
Okay.
Or what they thought was intuition. Let's do. I don't want to give intuition a back. They wasn't using intuition. That was something else they was using. Because if
It
you
was
really in
probably like
tune
a
with intuition,
trauma response.
there you go. Okay, Doc, keep it clean for us. Yeah.
Mhm.
Alexis Butler says, "Well, I have a hate-love relationship with my intuition."
She said hate
I
first
almost
though.
said, "Say more about that." I almost did say,
Well, that's
I
what I
see you
was
with the
gonna say.
details." Doc,
I
Doc
was
said,
gonna
"She
say
said
that.
hate first, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy." All
Yeah, say
right.
more
Yeah,
about that.
y'all
Why
may
do
have
you
to
hate
talk
it?
some. She ain't finna say that on him.
I get it though, because it's like sometimes you meet someone and you like, yes, and in platonic, romantic, business, whatever, and you like, yes, this is gonna be a good thing, and then something be like, ha ha, back up, this ain't it, this ain't that, and like just knowing you are presenting yourself to be genuine to me, and I know you not genuine because my intuition told me and I can feel it, and you lying,
Mm.
that's uncomfortable because you can't be like, well, my intuition said you're full of it. They're gonna be like, girl, we just met, you are crazy, and then you seem like you crazy and you really
Yeah,
not.
right.
So I get that sometimes
Yeah.
knowing, sometimes just that no, like I knew some stuff was gonna go down, and I remember telling my husband like, this ain't that, this ain't gonna work out. He was like, what, you tripping? It did not work out. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, and I want to say that too, man. I understand. Yeah, I am purposely I am positive on purpose as much as I can be. Life will slap you around and chuckle at you, and you be like, nah, everything's wonderful. And you got a black eye, busted lip, you're bleeding out your spleen, your ear is hanging off, your
Mm.
lip is tripped, your tooth is chipped, and trying to be positive in those manners. Now, I think you're being a little bit delusional because I respect reality. I'm like, nah, man, this is hard right now. This is heavy, and things ain't good. You know what I mean? But in 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 essence of always being positive in that way, I think we can our intuition may kick in and we don't know why. We're like, man, I don't know. Something just telling me they ain't cool. Like you gotta listen to that. You gotta trust
Yes.
those things. Or this ain't really because it will look like the right play, it'll look like the right way, it'll look like the right move. But if your intuition is saying, I say if you don't want to back up, at minimum, listen to it and stand still. If you stand still, then it'll give you something that will click into your logic. And then I'll let Doc respond because I'll go on.
No, I totally agree. I actually teach people that, like, if you confused and your logic and your intuition and they're at war with each other, just be still. Just be still. Because if the person really ain't
Yeah.
right, or if the situation is really not right, or if the travel plan's really not right, or whatever, it's gonna fall apart. You just be still. You
Whatever.
don't have to be the reason it falls
Yeah.
apart. You don't have to be the reason the relationship fell through. You can put your money to the side. Don't spend your money because hey, maybe you tripping. But like whatever the situation is, just be still for a little second and see what happens. I think a lot of times you get that gut feeling and you like, oh, let me back out. Let me pull back. Let me do something different. Well, just be still if you don't know. But when I be knowing, I be knowing. So I'm out. But in situations where I don't know, be still.
Right.
Whatever
Right.
is meant for you to see, you gonna see it. Uh-oh.
That's true. That's true. And if I could Alexis Butler says exactly, Doc, for
I'm
sure.
already
And
knowing.
then I would add and for sure. And I would add that you would want to you always got to look at situations um in a once you stay still, I think what happens is, well, let me say it like this. I would hope people would walk away and could take into account that we all have biases,
Hmm.
which is to me is you know I, that either have been developed by traumas or
Hmm.
by our environment, what we have been what we've been indoctrinated with, right? And that can influence your um where that can influence the battle between your logic and your intuition, right?
Right.
So
Hmm.
just know that that battle happens, and that we have they and I mean it's been coined. It's called cognitive dissonance, and it's where
Hmm.
even when you're presented with because here's the reverse side of that. Even when you're presented with facts, proof, evidence that counters what you believe or you think, or in this case, we're talking about intuition, when you think you just know or I feel, and you're like, that's not what it is. Some people will hold on to that because they suffer from cognitive dissonance. If you don't know what that is,
Yeah.
look it up, research it, read about it. I think you'll be better off from it. So when we're talking about logic versus intuition, understand that you're going to have some biases, implicit biases. You don't even know that you're biased against it. You think it's just what
Right.
it is. So digging into those things, I think, go hand in hand with, first of all, addressing the traumas. Like there's been there's no great evidence that having a therapist, a counselor, someone to speak to, help you unpack those things,
Hmm.
find avenues and bridges to get over those things so that you get to a
Hmm.
healthier, clearer place is never been more important. And then once you do that, identifying things like cognitive biases that you may have, the cognitive dissonances that may be present within your mindset, so that you can get a. To me, this leads into my personal philosophy. When you can really live in the truth, you can look at things for what they really are. You can look at them, be balanced in how you move, and then respect the reality of things. And you're going to make more balanced decisions, which are going to include your logic, but then you'll also be able to utilize and tap in to your own intuition.
I love it. I love it.
Alexis Butler says, my intuition definitely saved me a few times, and then sometimes it's nowhere to be found. Okay, doc, that's for you.
Listen. I be telling my husband that same thing. Sometimes he be like, "Oh, you don't know nothing this time, huh?" Listen, I don't even know how it happens. He be like, do you know anything?
You
What do
got
you
some, yeah.
know?"
Well, what you got
I
on
be
this?
like,
Yeah,
"Oh my god, nothing's popping." I don't even know like what that is or how to make it come. Like I feel you. I feel you so bad. Like on a soul level, I feel you.
she say, listen to it and stand still. 100, like it. Well, doc, that's gonna be a problem. Cause see, don't get my mouth all ready for some hash, and it ain't nothing but tuna in
It
here.
ain't no
You
hash.
understand? I've been leaning on this intuition because I'm like, man, I don't know the move. Say, babe, what you feeling? I ain't got nothing. Wait a minute. Last time I was ready to make a move, and you was like, no, baby, don't. I'm telling you, I know we don't need to do that. And I'm like, okay, and it worked out. Now I'm all comfortable. I'm ready. I'm like, I got a secret weapon. Boom, boom, boom. I'm dancing into any situation, any decision I got to make. I'm like, I got a secret weapon on the side. And then when I come to go to it, it ain't there. It's like that WB commercial, a cartoon where the dude he ran into that singing frog. Please tell me y'all didn't seen this. And it was like, hello, my baby, hello, my darling. Oh, damn,
Yeah.
it was dancing and everything. That dude took all his savings. He paid for the renovated the place, and then had all the people in there, sold the tickets, and that I mean the frog was. I'm talking about getting down, just jamming. He finally pulled up the curtain. That Joker just he got to the end of the song, sat down, and wouldn't say nothing. Now don't do me like that. That's what that be in the mind of. I'm sorry I had to go to story time, but man,
Nah,
she's talking
I
about
just
I
yeah,
frog
be
was in there
like,
talking
I
about
don't know.
bird. Be like bird. Come on now. Now, but you know what? I guess we can't. And I think what that may be a mark of purity in it. It's not something you can cut on or cut off. May give
Yeah.
it, you know. for lack of a better word, may give it some definity type feel. You know what I'm saying? It might be
Mhm,
some, because
mhm.
I that's why I say Yah told me so when if it's things I've experienced. Um, Mr. J. Gilliard said, I be trying to find out early. Absolutely, bruh. Like he's like, man, I don't even need to go down there. If baby, I don't need to go down there. It's like, oh, Mr. Gilliard said, because Doc will be quiet, and when you walking away, she would say, I knew it was gonna be this or that. See?
So listen, because you don't always appreciate when I tell you this what it's gonna be.
We're not
You
finna
be
hash that
like,
out right now. What I'm trying to say is why. Well, let me ask the question. So, why would you, if you knew, why you didn't say?
sometimes I do say, sometimes I'm not sure.
Okay,
When I
got it.
am
That's
when
all
I
I
am
want.
sure, like when I'm 100% sure, I'm gonna say something. If I'm like 95, I got to fall back.
No, 95 is great odds. Let's roll with the 95.
No, because what if
Come
it's the
on. If you like
five?
50-50, I get it.
What if
What
it's
if
the
it's not?
five?
But
It's
what
a
if
lot of
it's
pressure.
not?
It's a lot of
It
pressure.
is a lot of
It's a lot of
pressure.
pressure.
Take it. Come on, man. Hey, people built for certain
A
things, you
lot
know.
of
He
pressure.
never put nothing on you that you cannot handle. So you good.
That's what the people be saying, but I be feeling like I can't handle it sometimes.
I think that's all of us, man. That's all of us. So ain't no not one bit of lick of shame on that one right there. Not
That's
one
right,
little
babe.
bit of shame on that. Jay Gilliard said sometimes she do say, and I take that sometimes. Because I have had I've had that in my life. I don't think there's anything more valuable than that either. Mr. Jigga, you said when she not sure, she don't be too far off. See, we going with the 90. Now we know, Doc. If it's 95, say something. You know what? And let me say this. I can speak on this, and of course he can type in clarify. Because I want the 95. If you having some type of thought, give me that information so I can run it through my logic Rolodex, because it may stick to some things. It may clarify some things that I'm already thinking, and it'll give me more information, helps me utilize my schema more, so I can make a more rounded and a more informed decision. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
ladies, you got that intuition. Come on now, you done been to the therapist. Your trauma is been cleared up.
Cleared up is
Your
crazy.
trauma has been cleared. Yeah, it's been your trauma has been. You have traumatized your trauma, and now you back on the clearing golden path, and your intuition line is working. All right, say man, say something. And here's the thing: delivery. Like, don't come in like and what they said is wrong. Just come in and say, hey, have you considered? Can you consider? Have you considered this, babe? But this is what I feel like. I had this feeling of this, and this is the thought, and go with that, because I appreciate it. I actually would want that than you to have a feel. Ain't nothing gonna be worse than me make a decision, go, it doesn't work, and then you come back with like, I knew it. What the hell did you know? Because you sure didn't say nothing to me.
What the hell did you know?
Yeah, because that's a problem right there. Yeah, don't do that. Plus, we can't do men like that, man. Our egos are way too fragile. We are not gonna handle it right, because none of us want to make a bad mistake. None of us want to lead our families astray or anything like that. So, beating on us after we've done so is trash. Don't do that. Don't do that. So we'll work with as much logic, but if you got some intuition, bring that on there and sprinkle it in the pot. You know what I'm saying? Luke, add a little seasoning in there. The Chef Jeff just said so. He was like, so just say something. Say something. That's
I'm
hashtag
gonna
say
need
something.
you to say something, baby. Say something, baby. That's in my phone.
See, there we go. There we go. You know what I'm talking about? He said, yes, E. Packaging is everything. Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll speak now. Packaging is everything. Delivery. Somebody, hey, Amazon come and suplex slam your package on the porch, or
I
the
got
guy
an
come and
attitude.
sit it down. Yes, we're gonna have attitude. Delivery matters. I got a story. Went to, I forget the name of the restaurant, but they're rude on purpose. That's the MO and mission of the restaurant. They are rude to you on purpose. And society is a glutton for punishment. Yeah, I went. Me and my daughter, we went to this place. And so, like, if, for example, you ask for, like, I need a straw, they'll throw it at you. And we're like, they like throw it at you. They'll throw the straw your way.
Oh
they
no,
they
no,
make these
no.
paper hats, and then they'll write something about you. Be like, my dad doesn't like girls. My dad doesn't like women, or something like that. My daughter's walking around with a hat that says, "My dad doesn't like, like women."
Mm.
I'm laughing now, but I'm at that time I was. Let's just say I was still a little more like, what? I kind of look back at the dude like, it's a lot of things you could have said that was rude, but bro, come on now. But I mean, it was all good. But we went there for that. I couldn't get mad. I knew it was coming.
Right.
So yeah, so delivery matters. Delivery matters.
Mm.
Delivery. Yeah, tap into your intuition about that. Should I say it this way or should I not? And then I give you a
No,
clear
you
answer.
need logic for that. You ask your logical brain, if I say it like this, am I going to get the results that I need?
Clean it up then, Doc. Clean it up for me. That's what we
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
Say I shoot, she
That's what happened when
rebound,
we
turn
go on
around,
break.
dunk. Yeah, that'll work, man. That'll work. Well, we kind of at the end of the hour. Doc, you
Um,
got what would be your final takes and lead ins on that. And plus, if y'all got questions, man, y'all lay them out, man. Y'all, whatever y'all got.
my final thoughts are intuition knows, anxiety questions. Oh, that's good. I should tweet that.
Mm, that's good.
Um,
Yes.
Also, thank you so much for being here. We definitely appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend, meet us here. Thank y'all so much for giving us grace while we handled our lives outside of our show. Um, but we're back. We're happy to be here. Engage, comment,
We
like,
are.
subscribe.
Absolutely. I would just second what Doc just said. And again, um, I don't know how to ask. Like, if you're watching this is grace. If this is gracing your eyes and your ears, or just your eyes, or just your ears, um, hey, do us a favor. Take a second, whatever platform you're on, and hit the like button for me. Just say anything. Say, just let us know if there's any part of it that you felt like was good. If you just thought it was interesting, just leave us a mark of acknowledgement that you were there. We really do appreciate it, um, and it means it definitely is significant to us. Take an opportunity. Hey, if you're just sitting around not doing anything, go to the BS3 network. Check out some of the other shows. I promise you won't be disappointed. And I'm gonna tell you this: go to Chef Jeff's cooking show, this dope cooking show on
Tuesday.
Tuesdays at 5:30. To Tuesdays at 5:30. I'm telling you, man, it's fun. It's fun, and then you be like, dang, look at that right there. And I'm telling you, if you don't know how to cook, you're gonna get some real tips. You're gonna get some real tips on that. Not rib tips, some real tips on how to cook much better. But I definitely no big shouts out to that. And then this Saturday, right there on 360 and Green Oaks in South Arlington, you're gonna see you can't miss it because it's red and it's orange and reddish. It's called the Holy Box.
Red and yellow.
You you will red and yellow. You will not be disappointed on what you get. Now I'm getting the shrimp and grits. If that's I hope that's on the menu this week. I wanted to
Probably.
try. Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna get multiple things because that's just what I want to do because I'm like that. But man, don't meet me there, beat me there. Hey, tag me, let me know. Hey, I'm gonna be at the Holy Box this time. I'll meet you up there, and we'll have a good time. Um, And I gotta go because my daughter's not gonna let me live that one down on that. And but other than that, man, just really appreciate you being here. We're glad to be back in the building. We'll continue to do that. From from me, from Doc. Hey, we appreciate it. We'll see you next Thursday, 8:30. Tell a friend, share this, like this. We love you. All right.